Hello, today we are going to look at the poem The Boss, written by Arun Kolartkar. This poem is taken from Songs of Ourselves, Volume 2, published by the University of Cambridge International Examinations of Anthology of Poetry in English. The poem goes like this. The tarpaulin flaps are buttoned down on the windows of the state transport bus all the way to Jejuri. A cold wind keeps whipping and slapping a corner of tarpaulin at your elbow. You look down to the roaring road. You search for the signs of daybreak in what little light spills out of bars. Your undivided face in the pair of glasses on an old man's nose is all the countryside you get to see. You seem to move continually forward toward the destination just behind the cast mark beyond his eyebrows. Outside, the sun has risen quietly. It aims through an eyelet in the tarpaulin and shoots at the old man's glasses. A sort of sunbeam comes to rest against the driver's right temple. The ball seems to change direction. At the end of bumpy ride, with your own face on the either side when you get off the bus. You don't step into the old man's head. That's the end of the poem. Now we look at the analysis of the poem. From the poem that we have read, we come to realize that it is talking about a night journey that takes place during a rainy season. This is seen in the bus being covered with a tarpaulin. In fact, it can be argued that it was during rainy season at night that the poet traveler and his co-travelers were traveling, heading to the city called Jejuri. This can account to why the public bus that they were using for the journey was covered down to the window side. Because it was raining, the weather was cold. Apart from the weather being cold, there was a dangerous cold wind that was strongly blowing on the tarpaulin that was used to cover the bus, with the intent of exposing the travelers to cold. In the third stanza, the poem speaker made the traveler protagonist to recollect a particular action that took place in the midst of all this. He reminded him of how he looked down the road, searching for a glimpse of light that will remind him that the day is about to break. He also reminded him of his direct gaze at the face of an old man that was wearing eyeglasses which made him to see his image being splitted into two in the old man's eyeglasses. As it were, the day has broken and the sun has risen. The sun rays started piercing this tarpaulin and shooting at the old man's eyeglasses. However, when the beam of the sunlight flashes on the driver's right temple, it forced him to change his direction. The poor speaker reminded the traveler of his turning his eyes to either side of the road when they reached their destination. The poor speaker told us that despite the constant gaze at the face of the old man, he could not enter into his mind. Generally, the poem reveals a pilgrimage to Jejuri by the visitors or travelers, comprising both young men and old men. There appears to be an intense emotional and psychological conflict between the young man and the old man. While the old man was sitting on the bus calmly, the young man was looking at him fiercely, intensely, to the extent that he was seeing himself reflecting through his eyeglasses. This is a way of saying that the old man, or this is the word saying that the old man that you are seeing today and possibly want to judge is a reflection of a young man of yesterday. Hence, the advice of the poor speaker that no matter how intensely you gaze at an old man, you cannot enter into his mind. You cannot be his mate, and you cannot achieve what he has achieved. As such, he should be left alone in the world of his experience. The theme and setting of the poem. The verse is about the visitor's travel experience. Inside this simple theme, the poet has woven the theme of contrasting religious faith and opinion between old and young or modern generations. In the last line, and I quote, "You don't step into," the old man said. The poet talks of the inflexibility of the modern generation who has no patience to listen to the stories or experiences of the old people. The setting of the poem is the verse itself. The whole poem is set on the bus moving along with various screenshots of images at different times of the journey. The speaker is addressing a visitor who is on his way to Jejuri along with his fellow passengers. The visitor can expect in his way to experience different things. They could be interpreted